Hey guys, Ryan here for Bender Wins. Hope everyone's doing well today. Here with your daily free picks. All right, so as you can see, back home again, guys. I might be going up north again, potentially next week or the week after, but yeah, good to be back home, sleep in my own bed. Had a great time up north, nice seeing the family. We had our Canadian Thanksgiving. Great time. It was just small, immediate family. We're not doing the big gathering things here in Canada. So, yesterday, guys, interesting. Okay, so early yesterday, I headed back down here from up north. Got in. Many of you guys know Tuesday's kind of my R&R day. I catch up on some sleep, which I don't really get during the week. And yeah, so I had a lay down, great sleep, woke up, and I thought maybe World War III started or something because my phone was lit up, and for good reason. Kershaw got scratched from the game yesterday, and a lot of people wanted to know, what do we do? Okay, what do we do? We had the over. We had over with Kershaw pitching 7.5. I went to 8.5. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Okay, I've said this before. There's certain situations where you guys will have to kind of make your own decisions in terms of what to do. Okay, laying off. It's never the wrong decision. Okay, laying off when you're unsure about something is never the wrong decision. I have a game today. I like the game, but I'm just unsure. I'm going to lay off, okay? If I win that game, I'm not going to feel terrible about it. If I lose that game, I don't know. I'm not going to feel either way about it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, guys, laying off is never a bad thing, okay? Now, there are situations where if you have bets in, you're not going to be able to, to lay off if a line got worse. In this case, a line got better. But I want to share something with you guys that I've been doing for a while, and I've never talked about on the channel. But it does create value in a small way, and not everyone has the ability to do this. Okay, so you have two types of bet, especially in baseball. You have listed pitchers and you have action. Okay, when it says listed pitchers, that means that your bet is only valid if those two pitchers actually start. When it says action, it means that you have action, regardless who the starting pitcher is. You have action. Now, with COVID this year, there are a few books out there, Five Dimes being one of them, and I know that many of you guys do not have access to Five Dimes anymore, but that is a book. I mean, if you guys aren't in the States, and that is a book that has action this year on baseball. And yesterday, I used that for the second time now to my advantage, where basically I can take. I could take a line at the same price yesterday, pretty much the same price. Okay, I actually would have got just like 1 point cheaper on reduced juice, 1 point cheaper at Pinnacle yesterday. But I didn't take Pinnacle. Okay, I took my over bet at 7.5. I took it at 5 dimes and paid 1 point more juice. Now, why would I do that? Okay, I'll tell you why. Because 5 dime has action. Okay, and I don't always want action, but I'll tell you, in a situation where I have an ace pitcher in there, like Kershaw, I don't think he's going to get scratched. No way I think he's going to get scratched. Okay, I think he's going to pitch that game. But the way I look at it, if Kershaw gets scratched, is that line going to get worse or better? Okay, if that line did what it did yesterday, went up to 8.5. I still have it at 7.5. If I bet Pinnacle, cancels my bet, and I have to go back in and I have to bet it again at 8.5. So the way I look at it, there's no pitcher that they're going to put in there where it's going to make the line that I have, 7.5, worse. No pitcher is going to come in Kershaw's place and they're going to say, oh, that line should be 6.5 then. Can't happen. So that's how you can find a fundamental advantage. If you have a book that allows you to bet action, okay, you can find extra value by doing that. In yesterday's game, I was able to lock in at 7.5, keep my 7.5, regardless of the pitching matchup. Okay, so that's something there, guys, just to keep in mind. Now, that being said, what would we have done yesterday? What was the right thing to do yesterday? Probably the right thing to do if you had not put the bet in when Kershaw was taken out, which I understand. I don't know what time it was announced because, again, I was on the road and I went to bed when I got home for a bit. I don't know what time it was announced, but I don't think it was too long after we posted the video. So the right play, guys, yesterday, even though we won, it would have been to lay off. It would have been to lay off because that is a major fundamental change. Okay, it's a major fundamental change in the game, And I know we were taking the over in the game, so you think, well, it's the worst pitcher. But again, it's still a major fundamental change. So again, this comes down to a situation, guys, where now you have to, as yourselves, handicap that game, okay? If you're handicapping that game and you think, I still love the over, okay, I still love the over, then go ahead. But if you're just simply tailing my pick, and that's a major fundamental change, it's probably best to lay off, okay? But again, if you're locked into a bet already and you have an advantageous position, say you still had 7.5 with action, let that baby ride all day because that is a ton of value, as we saw. All right, one more thing quickly, guys. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. The Buffalo Bills. Ugh. That was a 2-unit play, guys. I said earlier, and I've said this for a long time, guys, I expect my 2-unit plays to hit right up around 60%. And we were at 60%. We started off the year pretty miserably with our 2-unit plays. I think we were hitting like 52, 53%. We went on a bit of a tear. I think that's the first 2-unit play we've lost in a while. But I was hoping to cross that, that 60% range, get up around, 61, 62%, which again, it's not sustainable. 60% is what I target for my 2-unit plays. But the Bills yesterday, man, oh man, they never recovered from that initial turnover and the mistakes and drop balls and penalties. And, as much as Tennessee beat them, and I mean on the scoreboard, they beat them. The Bills really beat themselves yesterday. They didn't play great ball. They didn't protect the ball. And I don't know, it's just one of those games. I look back in that game, and, to me, putting it in, now we lost, but putting that pick in, that's like the high end of 2 units. That's a high, I'm never going to give that a 3-unit play, but that's the high end of 2 units right there. I really, really like the Bills yesterday. Again, I don't want to come out here and say, I really, really like the Bills. Like, these guys this is a great pick. This is huge. My lock of the month. I don't have that bullshit. And I'm not going to say that because, again, people hear what they want to hear. And if I say, I love this 2-unit play, is the best 2-unit play of the year, people are going to run out and bet, 40% of their bankroll. I know it's going to happen. So anyway, but I really liked that pick yesterday. I went back over it again. I think, if there's anything that could have got me off a 2-unit play, which there wasn't, but anything that maybe get me down to a 1-unit, it was a fairly public play. But damn, I like the Bills yesterday. There's not many games where I sit down and I think, yeah, you know what, there's a good 65, 70% chance I win against the spread on this game. And then instantly heartbroken. Well, you guys watch the game. So anyways, that's enough. That's enough about that, guys. Let's move on. I have 4 plays today, including a 2-unit play. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to give out 2 plays to you guys and then 2 in Masterclass. So 2 plays to you guys, 2 in Masterclass. So first off, guys, we have a 2-unit play. Okay, and we're going to do it, again, similar in 2 different ways, okay? So we have Coastal Carolina and UL Lafayette, okay? In this game, guys, I have 2 different system indicators, one hitting around 57, the other hitting 63%, okay? A couple nice reverse line moves in the game. Right now, the bet distribution, 30% of the bets, 66% of the money. So good distribution. I would like to see the money under the 50%, but again, guys, you can definitely tell there's some sharp money on this game. And we're going to be taking UL Lafayette. So ULL, we're taking UL Lafayette. We're going 1 unit, okay, 1 unit minus 7.5, okay, and 1 unit minus 7, laying minus 130, okay? So it's a 2-unit play, but we're going to go 1 unit at 7.5 and 1 unit minus 7 at minus 130. Okay, so that's how we're going to play that, guys. Again, 2-unit play. We bet on Coastal Carolina earlier in the year. I think people understand that they've kind of, I don't want to say overperformed. They're a good squad, but I mean, they kind of have overperformed a little bit. UL Lafayette, though, guys, I like them. I think this is an easy win for them. So anyway, that's why it's a 2-unit play, right? All right, so that's what we're doing there, guys, and I have one more play for you guys. Now, I'm hoping most of you can do this. I know not all of you can. And what we're doing, guys, is we're going to take a little trip to Value Town, okay? We're talking Atlanta and the Dodgers. Atlanta and Dodgers. Okay, so Dodgers down in the series. A lot of people expecting Dodgers going to come roaring back. There's 3 steam bets on Atlanta. And I just think Atlanta, with their bats, is too much value to pass up. And I'm going to tell you another reason why. So here was a tricky game. Here's a tricky game. I'm going to tell you why. Okay. There's a pretty crazy wind blowing the outfield in this game. There's a couple big steam bets on the over in this game. So people say, well, Ryan, why wouldn't you just take the over in the game? Because you know what? The reality is the money distribution does not make any sense on the under. The money distribution on the under is much better. But there's a couple steam bets on the over in this game. And that wind is blowing out. And we have an under umpire, though. But so it's a lot of contradictory stuff. But let me look at this from playing it from a different angle, okay? Let's forget the total. We think that, there's a good chance it might go over. But let's not look at that for a second. But let's look, how can we play this game if it turns out to be a high-scoring game? And we know Atlanta is number one offense in the league, right? If this turns out to be a high-scoring game, how can we take advantage of this, okay? So here's what we're going to do, guys. It's a one-unit play, but we're going to do two bets on this, each a half unit. The first one, guys, we're going to take Atlanta money line plus 175, okay? So Atlanta money line plus 175, you're at reduced juice. You could probably get plus 180, okay? But I know many of you aren't now. Unless you're at, bet openly, you should be able to easily get plus 180. All right, so half a unit Atlanta plus 185. Now, here's what we're going to do. If you have the capability to do this, okay, a lot of books you can, especially in the playoffs. We are going to take the Atlanta run line. It's plus 1.5. And we are going to move it upside down, and we're going to make Atlanta minus 1.5. Yes, we're going to go Atlanta minus 1.5. And for that, guys, you should be getting plus 300. Okay, so you'd be getting plus 300 to move Atlanta to minus 1.5. Now, I like Atlanta in this game. I like this team, guys. I love their offense, needless to say. I mean, the Dodgers are a great team. They didn't lose 3 games in a row many times a year, but it's too much value to ignore. It's just too much value to ignore. So we are going to take Atlanta for half a unit, plus 175, half a unit, minus 1.5, getting plus 300. Because again, guys, this is how we're going to play that 13, 14 mile an hour window. We're not going to play in the over. There's too much contradictory information, but my lean is towards the over. So let's take advantage that, we can get a position where maybe Atlanta wins, 7-5 game, or maybe Atlanta wins like an 8-4 game or something like that. So again, I like Atlanta, but I think we're getting a ton of extra value in a potentially high scoring affair to have them win by 2 runs. Okay, guys. So again, you blend this, the two as one unit, kind of, you blend the half unit and the half unit, and you're getting well over plus 200 in value on Atlanta there. So I like Atlanta in this play, guys. I like Coastal Carolina, or I don't like Coastal. I like UL Lafayette in the Coastal Carolina game. So again, guys, just quick recap. We are going Atlanta minus 1.5 plus 300. We're going Atlanta money line plus 175. And we're going UL Lafayette 1 unit minus 7.5 and 1 unit minus 7, paying minus 130. Okay, bit of a longer video, guys, but I did want to address kind of what happened yesterday in the baseball game with the pitching change. And again, if you have a major fundamental change in the game, the onus falls onto you to make that decision. In football, a quarterback gets scratched. It's a major fundamental change, especially, if we're talking about, like a Mahomes or Rodgers or, I don't know, the top end quarterbacks. I don't know why I was just going to mention the Bills quarterback. I'm not going to mention him in that breath. Anyways, a top end quarterback, guys. Top end quarterback gets scratched. Okay. Now, on the flip side, guys, you say, okay, well, what constitutes a major fundamental change? Again, it's up to interpretation. You guys have to figure it out, okay? If a number 2 wideout scratched, it's probably not going to change, okay? It's not going to change our bet. But again, guys, the onus does fall onto you guys, and it's why I continue to put out more information to help you guys make your own decisions. It's why I do Masterclass, to help you guys, again, dive deeper into it and figure out these professional kind of little aspects, because it's all piecing value together. That's all it is piecing little bits of value together and maximizing value when you have those opportunities. And one of the ways you can maximize value, believe it or not, is sometimes laying off games, right? So anyways, guys, that's it for today. I know it was a very long video for just 2 picks, but I did want to talk about that. So anyways, guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And as always, have a very lucky day.